Morning everyone. Today we will discuss a very important legislation in Indian constitutional and administrative history. That was the Charter Act of 1861. This act played a major role in shaping the structure of the government of India during British rule. So let's first introduce this charter. This charter of 1861 was an important constitutional reform during British rule in India. It aimed to improve administration and increase Indian participation and reorganize the legislative structure. Secondly, when this act came, we have to see its background. What was the reason behind the introduction of this charter? Let's see its background. To understand the Charter of 1861, we must look at the events before it. After the revolt of 1857, the British government realized that the administration of India needed major reforms. The East India Company had already lost its governing powers under the Government of India Act 1858, and India came directly under the British Crown. As there were many revolts happening all around the world, all around the India, so the British government has decided to bring a charter to recognize or reorganize the whole structure. This led to decentralization of power. The centralization, which started under 1773 Act and it ended in 1833, that was completely reformulated and decentralization start in this 1861 charter. So nextly, let's see its key provision. Firstly, it had led the reconstitution of Governor General's Council by adding the fifth member exclusively for legislative purposes. Secondly, by strengthening the legislative department of the central government. Next key feature is decentralization of legislative powers. The Government of India Act has led to decentralization. सेंट्रलाइजेशन एज इट मीन्स कि सारी पावर केंद्रित कर देना एक ही गवर्नमेंट में. अब जो पावर्स थी बम्बे एंड मद्रास प्रेसिडेंसी में भी रिस्टोर की गई. पहले जब शुरू में ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी आई थी, व्हेन द सेंट्रलाइजेशन वाज नॉट देयर, तब बम्बे एंड मद्रास एंड और प्रेसिडेंसी थी, उनके पास बहुत पावर थी. दैट इज़ अ फीचर ऑफ फेडरलिज्म विच वॉज देयर. बट नाउ अब जो ये बॉम्बे एंड मद्रास हैं, इनकी पास दोबारा से पावर आई जो 1833 के एक्ट में कम हो गई थी. एंड एम्पावर्ड दैम टू मेक लॉज फॉर देयर ओन प्रोविंसेस. और जो ये एक्ट है उसने एम्पावर कर दिया टू मेक देयर ओन लॉज. Thirdly, we have inclusion of Indians in law making. Before this, there were no Indians in legislative structure of British government. But now, first time, the Raja of Banaras, Maharaja of Patiala, Sir Dinkar Rao made part of Viceroy Canning Legislative Council. ओके, सो 1861 के एक्ट में क्या हुआ कि जो वाइसराय है उसकी लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल में इंडियंस को भी रिप्रेजेंट करने का मौका दिया गया. दिस वॉज अ स्मॉल स्टेप टुवर्ड रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ इंडियंस. ठीक है. फोर्थली, एस्टैब्लिशमेंट ऑफ न्यू लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल. एक नई लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल बनी विच एम्पावर्ड द क्राउन to create new council for provinces such as Bengal, North-Western provinces and Punjab later on. ठीक है. उसके बाद क्या था, रूल्स फॉर मेकिंग लॉज. मतलब इस एक्ट में 1861 के एक्ट में डिफरेंट रूल्स लाए गए फॉर मेकिंग और क्रिएशन ऑफ लॉ. फॉर इंस्टेंस, लॉ मेड बाय द गवर्नर जनरल्स काउंसिल required assent of Governor General. Laws inconsistent with British laws could be disallowed by the crown. These were some rules which were set up for the better government or for the better running of legislative structure. Nextly, let's see its significance. It has led to decentralization, as I told you, which was ended in the Charter Act, which has ended centralization process, which ended up in 1833. Secondly, it led to the foundation of Legislative Council. Thirdly, introduction of Indians into legislature. Fourthly, it has strengthened the executive authority. And now let's discuss. There are just four significance which I have introduced in this chapter. Let's now discuss the limitations which were brought under this act. These limitations are: firstly, Indian members had a very limited power, only advisory role. Secondly, no control over finances or administration, as Indians do not have control over finances and administrative work. British officials were still having the majority. It was not a democratic body, it was just a nominal body, just on the sake of just impressing the Indians. They have formulated these type of charters. Okay, after that, let's conclude this chapter. The Charter Act of 1861 marked a significant constitutional milestone as it introduced decentralization and allowed Indians to participate in legislative functions for the first time. Though limited in scope, it laid the foundation for later reforms like Act of 1892, 1909, 1919, 1935, and eventually shaping the modern legislative framework of India. Like iske baad Minto Marley reform, or there are so many other reforms like Montague Chelmsford reform, etc., etc. There were so many reforms which came, which were related to educational field, judicial reform, social reform, administrative reforms, etc., etc. So ये act है, this act was basically a milestone. It had set up an milestone for the whole nation. जो आज का decentralization का process, जो हम grassroots level of democracy देखते हैं, that was just outcome of this act. ठीक है, so let's end this chapter. So nextly we will do 1892 Indian Council Act. So stay tuned with this channel. Thank you.